Greetings. My name is Dr. John C. Chuck Chalberg. I'm a longtime college teacher of American history. And for many years, I have also performed one-man historical shows. Most of them, since I'm a teacher of American history, are American figures, but not all of them. And one of the others is an Englishman by the name of Gilbert Keith Chesterton, G.K. Chesterton. Was born in 1874 and died in 1932. Didn't have a long life, but he had a very productive life. He was bigger than life in many ways, not just in his productivity, but in his size. He was 6'2" at least, and 320 pounds at times. Maybe this explains why he lived only to be 62 years old. He didn't always take care of himself as he might have, but he had a great time while he was with us and wrote a great deal in almost every genre imaginable. He was a biographer, he was a novelist, he was a poet, a playwright, he was a writer of detective fiction, he was an essayist. He called himself a journalist, and I suppose he was. But I think of all of the genres, he was best as an essayist. Now I might warn you, if you watch Chesterton in action, I hope you have a good time. There's no warning here. In fact, I can guarantee you'll have a good time. Not because of me, but because of Chesterton. He was wise, he was witty, he was wonderful. The warning really comes down to this. He's not always an easy read. He takes some sitting with. He's often compared to C.S. Lewis, and there is a comparison there. In fact, Lewis read Chesterton and decided Chesterton was right about many things. Started Lewis on his own journey. Lewis is an incredibly fluid writer, brilliant writer. Chesterton is too, but he takes some sitting with. So I hope when you see him in action that you will be inspired to read him. He's worth your time. But I hope you give yourself time to sit with him a little bit. He is very much an acquired taste, but he is acquirable. And I trust you will give yourself a chance to appreciate the real thing. I'm the fake thing as I'm doing him. But I hope I can spirit you on to invest some time in the wisdom of Chesterton. I think he has a lot to say to our modern world. He worried about the modern world of his day, and we're an even more modern world today. So whether you're going to see him talking about the lives of St. Francis or St. Thomas, he wrote full biographies of both of them, brilliant biographies, or whether you hear him as a social commentator talking about distributism. He didn't really believe in capitalism, certainly the large-scale capitalism as it was coming to be during his time. Nor did he believe in socialism or communism. He was an enemy of bigness, no matter what. Property was like muck. It was only good if it was spread around. The trick, of course, is how you do this, but that's the nature of what he meant by distributism. He was a critic of eugenics before Hitler made eugenics not entirely popular. But there was a time early in the last century when eugenics was quite popular. Theodore Roosevelt thought that there were good things about this, among many, many others. Chesterton was suspicious. You also might hear him recite some poetry. The Battle of Lepanto, the great victory of Christians over Muslims in 1571, stirring epic poem. Chesterton wrote about matters biblical. You might hear him speak on the book of Job. There are all kinds of genres that he operated in. And I hope that you give yourself some time to listen to him in action, watch him in action. But once that's all over, I hope you find time to read him as well. He's worth the investment.